This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and it feels great to be back. I missed you all greatly. Well, today it is Monday on Daily with Doc, and we have a special edition of Daily with Doc as we are bringing an amazing individual who is, very instrumental in making sure that what we have going on in our realm of being able to help people has the best quality. And today we are going to be talking about business and choosing a business that actually is not just productive in helping create an income, which we're not making any type of income claims. Program is for informational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician nor your financial advisor. But folks, when you're looking for something that has solutions, Youngevity has an amazing solution to many different life experiences. And we're going to be sharing a little more about that as we're just going to have a conversation today with the individual who oversees all quality issues of Youngevity Products. He is a graduate of Portland State University, majoring in sports medicine, health, physical education, chemistry. He has served as an associate professor at PSU in health and first aid. And Richard Renton is a board certified athletic trainer with the National Athletic Trainers Association and was an assistant athletic trainer for Portland State University, the Portland Timbers soccer team, and the Portland Storm football team. He's also a board member of AL International. So as we're looking at individuals and we look at their credentials and, okay, what is this person doing that is helping others, that's successful, that's really creating a purpose that you can be proud of? Anybody better than to help me have this conversation about taking a business that could be right for you. Now, folks, this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. We are a group of individuals that are independent associates of a company called Youngevity International. And we have chosen this company because of the solutions and the products and the quality that goes into them. And they give solutions. So it's not just take a bunch of stuff and then hope something works. For all of us, we've taken what has been recommended by the founder of Youngevity, Dr. Joel Wallach, and we get great results. And I love the fact that he has put this into a platform that we can refer others and get a thank you check. And that thank you check just builds and builds and builds. And we can bring others in and help them find the same success. So it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And today we're going to be talking about why choose Youngevity. So if I can have Richard Renton on the screen with me, I can't think of a better person that is suited for this job. I mean, Richard, you've got some major things that you've accomplished in your life, yet you still chose to bring in something like Youngevity to help yourself and help others. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be back on again and look forward to new visits down the road. Oh, I forgot to take my phone off of that receiver. Sorry about that. We're going to go like
no
that.
No worries. I couldn't hear it, so it worked just fine.
Okay. So to kind of give some background, I've actually known Dr. Wallach for, I'm going to say almost 40 years now. And back when I knew him at the very beginning, he actually had a medical practice in Portland, Oregon, which is the area that I live in. And his practice had grown so much that he couldn't see every patient that wanted his needs. And so what he started to do was develop this file cabinet, and he had a mimeograph per, copier more or less. And he would put down, okay, if you have a cold, take this, this, and this. Or if you have this challenge, take this, this, and this. And he made copies and he would put it in the file cabinet, and people would come in, put their quarter or 50 cents in the bowl, because that he just wanted to cover the cost of the copies. And they would pull out the magic sauce I'm sure he's used that word before, and the people just got better. Well, the file cabinet became such a success that he decided to make a book out of it. Let's see if I can turn this right.
Here,
And
I got that one. Let's
yep,
read
you
off.
got that one. Or if you want, you can get this one too. I'll hold it up like this. And thank you. And if you look in the back of the book, you have all these formulas for all these health challenges. And that went fine, but then all of a sudden he decided that he wanted to be more hands-on with the products. And so he started to work with various multi-level marketing companies prior to Youngevity. And he actually was partners in some of these, and we were sourcing out products and whatnot. And I was involved with the same company, and we were let go. We'll just be nice and say it that way, even though there was lawsuits involved and all that. And we started the company, and he came to me because he knew my background. I actually had my own nutritional company there. I had a partner by the name of Steve Wallach, who was also my partner in this nutritional company. We were manufacturing products at that time. And he says, we need to do this on our own. What would it take to make this happen? And it was really quite a roller coaster for about 3 months, because Doc didn't have products to sell, but he was still out on the road talking to people saying, you need to get these products as soon as we can get them made. Steve and Michelle moved down to California and started Youngevity. It wasn't quite named that then. And my job was to formulate the products and find the contract manufacturers, if I'm not doing it, to make the products and get it done. And in 3 months, we actually got 14 products started, and we brought it into Youngevity, and away it went. Now, this is the thing that was kind of special with Youngevity. Right off the bat, we had a scientific board. And on that scientific board was several doctors, one of which was obviously Dr. Wallach, and Dr. Edward Dubois, and Dr. Schrauzer, Gerhard Schrauzer. And they were all experts in the field with multiple PhDs. Some of them was teaching at University of San Diego. And when I came up with an idea or a formula, Doc would come to me and say, I need you to make a product to fix this. I would come up with a formula that I thought it would work. Then I'd have to present it to all these guys. And I kind of felt like a freshman that had to go in front of a review board to get my products reviewed, because they would look at it and they would go, why do you have this much of this in it? Why do you have this much of this? Wouldn't this work better? What would happen if we did this? And we'd all go through these formulas, and we developed a formula. So when you see a product, and let's just say it's Beyond Prost FX, let's just use that one for example. It's
You picked the one I don't have on my desk.
Sorry. I wonder why. If you have Prost FX, it was actually designed to help shrink and enlarge prostate. It wasn't designed because we like cinnamon. It wasn't designed because we like vanadium. It wasn't designed because we like chromium, which is what the majority of the market is. They see a hot trend and they feel it's necessary to make a product out of it. We actually developed the product to overcome a health challenge, all based on basically this book initially. And so Dr. Wallach, when he had his practice in this book, he had patients taking 60 different pills. And that got a little bit crazy. And so he was saying, how can we get the trace mineral product so that we can reduce the number of pills or products that we're asking our customers to make? And that's when we reached out to a company called Live Earth Products and the Taylor family. And they had a humic shale deposit in southern Utah. And we made a deal with them that if they could help us, we would do this. And they've been making our plant-derived minerals since day one. And with that plant-derived minerals, whether it's in a powder form or a liquid form, we're able to add it to other products to create a majority of our products and reduce the number of pills that we take. So now if you wanted to take all 90 essential nutrients, you can do so by taking a product like Beyond Tangy Tangerine and EFAs. And people go, well, why don't you put the EFAs in Beyond Tangy Tangerine? Well, in all fairness, people make enough comments that I don't make the best tasting products, and I'll agree to that. I'll agree to that. But adding fish oil to them would just make them taste worse. And I am sorry about the phone. We'll do that. It's in the trash can now. And so we create these products to overcome challenges. And if you look at all the products, we try to give hints on what it is, because technically as a company, we can't make a product that will say prostate reducer, because that's making a medical claim. And so we kind of have to slightly beat around the bush. But if you go back to the original book, so to speak, and you look up what is needed for these products, and then you go to the website and start searching, you'll find the product that will match the formula in most cases. Over the years, we've added sister companies to ours. And so we have more products than the original Youngevity products that are absolutely great. And that's the other half of it that I get to do. One of the big things that makes Youngevity unique is that all our products are made in facilities, nutritional products are made in facilities that had third-party inspections and tests done on them. So we have a manufacturer that produces a certificate of analysis, which basically says what they put on the product, and then they have to go through some basic testings and heavy metals and bacteria, yeast, and mold, and make sure that they have a quality product. But the facility also has to go through a third-party testing other than the FDA. The FDA does it automatically. It's called CGMP program. But they also go through another program to test that makes sure that their manufacturing facilities meet the standards for purity, quality, and quantity of the products. And we're one of the unique companies out there that has that. So you have Dr. Wallach creating formulas. We put them together. We're putting in above average manufacturing facilities because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are great at making EFAs, and there's a lot of companies out there that are great at making collagen, but there isn't a company out there that's great at making everything. So what Steve and Michelle have done over the years is find the best manufacturers for each product to make our products for us, to maintain those standards so that we have formulas that will succeed and are beneficial. So I'm very proud. I've been working with Youngevity, no longer on the board. To meet the stock market, had to have more women on it or ethnic, and I don't fit either one of those categories. And so I stepped down to allow other people on it to do it. But I still get the honor of being one of the formulators and help with the quality control as well.
You just said a mouthful. Going into how deep and how dedicated Youngevity is to making sure the quality is there consistently. Now, coming from a manufacturing background myself and being in the quality department, that's super important for me. Because if I can't trust what's on that label, how am I going to be able to recommend it to somebody else? And that's one thing that I have just absolutely loved about Youngevity, because I know that what's on the label is what's inside and what it's done for me. And it's basically given me my life back. And I love the fact that I'm aging backwards. So that's just one of the bonuses to this. Now, you as a formulator, you're also very instrumental in helping with distribution outside the US, which I think is absolutely fantastic, because Dr. Wallach has this crusade to save humanity and the world. So speak with us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Well, as the United States has their own rules and regulations that are fairly relaxed, I'll phrase, compared to other countries on what's considered a drug and what's not considered a drug, and whether you can import it or export it. You know, every country is slightly different. In the EU, they have a set of guidelines that are minimums, and each country can add more to it, but they have this basic rules on it. And so one of the benefits that I have is that I've worked with, Doc, and doing this for, I have to look on my calendar, let's see, I'm 96. So it's 30 plus years, 33 almost. I've been working with Doc on getting into these foreign countries. And actually, I have a reputation of with the customs and various programs that I kind of know what they like and don't like. And so if someone tries to want to ship a product and I know it won't get in there, I'll use an example. Germany is very, very restrictive, and getting products into Germany is a challenge. I can turn around and say, I can't get it into that country, but, and this will make you all laugh, you can get the product into Belgium or Denmark. And if you have a friend in Belgium and Denmark, once it's in the EU, there is no more customs inspections. And so they can have their friends ship it from Denmark into Germany and they can get it easily. But we as a US company can't ship it straight into Germany. Other little challenges is that a lot of countries, you can bring in nutritional products for personal consumption, but if you plan to resell it, then you have to get it registered within that company. And what most countries consider reselling is a 3-month limit, and they don't want to read the instructions. So it's basically 3 given bottles of anything. So if I wanted to send something into Sweden, I could send 3 bottles of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, 3 bottles of EFA, and 3 bottles of OsteoFX. But if I try to ship 4, 4, and 4, they could reject it, and they do periodically. There again, the other way around that is to ship it into a country that they accept, and then somehow get it into their country. You can do that. And so there's all these little games. The other main disadvantage of international is just the cost of shipping today. And it is astronomical. I could ship 4 bottles of Classic to Australia, but you're probably looking at $150 to ship it. And that just makes people's mouths shut. Now, we do have a distribution center in New Zealand, and we're able to work around in that particular country. But the second you start doing it, I have an order today to try to get into Saudi Arabia. And it's probably going to be a $200 or $300 shipping bill. And the people obviously have to have the faith in the product to make it work. And I'm going to touch into that. When I work with a new associate that wants to do this for the business, and they go, well, I'm going to say this, this, and this. And I go, well, then they're going to ask you how you know. And so the easiest way to do when you start this is that I took the products that the Youngevity suggested, and I feel so much better. And I don't know how it works. I don't have the chemistry background. I don't deal with this. And just say it worked for me, because, when I recommend a restaurant, I may not know how they cook everything, but I know I enjoyed it. And usually when I recommend a restaurant, Rebecca, you would probably go to that restaurant just based on my recommendation. Well, a lot can be true of the nutritional products, right? If you just recommend it and you're honest and open with people, they can do it. Now, if they have a particular question, there's people out there that can answer it. We have a holistic certification program if you want to go through that type of scenario, or you can reach out to your upline or even me. I'm Richard at Youngevity. I'll come right out and give you my email. And you could say, I have a customer, make a comment. What's your thing? Because most of the time is, why do you use this particular compound within a product like Beyond Tangy Tangerine? And the basic answer in most of the time is it's like a huge cake recipe. And sometimes cake flour works better than all-purpose flour. You don't get quite the chain reactions. Well, sometimes it's better to use calcium gluconate versus calcium citrate, because with all the other ingredients, you can get combinations and you can get reactions. And sometimes in the early days, when we were having fun with our formulas, we would change things around and they would gas, and it would be fine, except the bottom of the bottle would blow out or the expand, or when you opened up the little foil on the top, it would like go, you would have a little mild eruption. And people thought it was botulism, right? Because if you're my age, you run into that problem. Well, it wasn't. It was just the gases, because of the chemical reaction, expanding. And if you actually look at, and I don't have a bottle of Classic on my desk, if you look at a bottle of Ultimate Classic liquid, you'll see there's a little pencil lead sized dot on it. And believe it or not, that's a one-way valve. So gas can escape, but air can't go back in to contaminate the product. And it's one of the tricks we learn. Why do we have an hour-shaped glass bottle? Because with the liquids, we found that it is stronger in the middle of the body and we get less bulging on it. Because when you have 120 ingredients in something, you're going to have some little chemical reactions going on, especially when temperature gets involved. It's also one of the main reasons why we shifted over to, you're holding up a bottle of osteo, yeah. One of the main reasons why we are shifting over to powders more is that we don't have that gassing problem and we're not shipping water. And therefore, a bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine weighs 1.125 pounds. A bottle of the osteo that Rebecca was just holding up weighs right at 2.5 pounds. And so when you start talking about 3 or 4 of those, and you start talking about how much it costs to ship international, that makes a significant difference.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know if you can see this, folks, but you can see that there's
right in the middle.
There, there's your one-way valve. So yeah, it's fantastic. And I love that there are options, whether it's the liquid, the powder, or tablets. For most of the vitamin supplement combinations, you have one of those options to help meet somebody's specific, whether it's needs or preferences. Of course, with liquids, you're going to get better absorption within the body because you don't have to break down.
Yeah, you don't have to break down the pill. And there's options out there that some people don't even think about. I'm a coffee drinker, and you've probably been seeing that I've been kind of sipping on a cup of coffee. Well, it's not coffee. Well, it is coffee. Yeah, you're reaching back with the bag too. You have this. So I'm getting a mushroom blend with my coffee to support my immune system. And it tastes great, guys. It doesn't taste like mushrooms, right? It just tastes like coffee. And so we have products out there. I remember way back when Doc actually had an audio cassette tape. I'm really dating myself now. It went from CDs and now it's just online. But he was telling people to get chicken cartilage from Kentucky Fried Chicken dumpsters, right? Well, now we sell collagen products, which is basically refined cartilage. It's just purified. And so 35 years ago, he was recommending this stuff. Well, collagen's just been on the market and gone crazy in the last, 4 years or so, maybe 5 years. Doc's been suggesting it for 30 years. He's so far ahead of everybody. He's absolutely so far ahead of everybody that one of the reasons why the formulas always seem to work is just because of his background. He has a PhD in veterinarian medicine. He has a PhD in pathology. He has a PhD in naturopathic medicine. He has 3 different PhDs. And then if you were at one time to look at our scientific board, there was 37 PhDs degrees in combined with everyone that was on that board. And so we just have the scientific board to create products that will work. We find manufacturers that will make the products the way we want them made. And we have the testing facilities that we spot check to make sure that they're making it the way we want them to make it and they'll be beneficial. So you, as a distributor, all you have to say is, I don't know why it works. It just works. I feel better. Most people look at me and I say I'm 70 years old. They go, really? And, and that always makes you feel good, right? Always. And so we have that benefit. And so I'll encourage all of you, if you have questions, ask them. There's no problem with that. We want to give you good information. If you ask us who our manufacturers are, we're probably not going to tell you because we kind of keep that within ourselves because we don't want everyone calling the manufacturer and asking questions. Keep them targeted towards us and we'll get you the answers to answer your questions. And I think that that's one of the big pluses with Youngevity.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like this weekend, I went on a cruise and I wanted to make sure that I kept my immune system up. I had my coffee. I had my collagen peptides creamer that I added into my coffee. I also had the Beyond Tangy Tangerine with me, but I had the Beyond Hot Chocolate. So I made my own mocha that was rich in collagen peptides and tasted fantastic. without having to pay $8 for a cup of coffee. So it's, and then, you know, what are you getting when you're paying that $8 for a cup of coffee? You're getting some caffeine. Who knows what chemicals were used in making that coffee, plus all the sugar to make it taste good and the artificial flavors. And I was able to eliminate that and continue to build my own self and its ability to not get sick. So I love that Youngevity has so many options when it comes to things that we can put within our bodies to support our bodies. Now, you had mentioned something about, you know, not making the best tasting stuff. Well, I missed my Beyond Tangy Tangerine liquids. Okay? My Ultimate Tangy Tangerine, my Ultra Body Toddy, my Cow Toddy, my liquid Osteo FX. Like I was holding up like this. I missed the taste of them, but I had our on the go packs, so I wasn't missing the nutrition of them.
You know, I'm going to do a comparison because I've watched Steve and Michelle's kids grow up since they were, well, the oldest one was 3 when I first started to spend a lot of time with them. And then as they were getting older and whatnot, Michelle likes the liquids better than she likes the powders. So during conception, during their kids' early age to now, the kids have always consumed the liquids. They like the flavor of the liquids because they're used to it. A lot of taste is a learned reaction. I know as a grandfather, you know, I have fun. I'll bite into a lemon and just smile at them and then hand them the lemon just to see what the reaction is when they bite into it. Now they don't trust me. But, you know, if you tell them, oh, this isn't very good tasting, I guarantee they'll do it. If you don't say anything and you let them do it and they see the benefit, then they take it and they get used to it. So now I personally think that the Osteo is too sweet, but that's me, right? I don't have a big sweet palate. You're used to it. You love it, right? And so everyone's a little bit different. And that's the other big challenge. I don't care how perfect we ever are on flavoring. There's going to be someone that likes it and there's going to be someone that doesn't. Go figure. We're never going to make the perfect product, but we have enough variance with it. You know, we have a new a pollen burst product that's made with dragon fruit that I think really tastes good. I might put a little bit of bitters in it just because I'm not a sweet guy. And if you know anything about cooking, which I have a strong background in as well, bitter cancels sweet. So if you ever accidentally put too much sugar in a recipe, you just have to put something that's bitter in that recipe and you'll neutralize the sweet flavor. And so I just kind of modify it.
Well, and one thing that I do is I will take like any of my pollen bursts and I will add a splash of plain plant-derived minerals. Mm-hmm. So not only am I getting the nutritional benefits and the therapeutic benefits of that pollen burst, I'm making it supercharged with plant-derived minerals, and it's bringing that sweetness down because I'm not a super sweet loving person. I love the liquids because I can do an ounce. It's like a shot. You drink it down. I drink down my water. I'm done. But my tangy tangerine, when I'm using the powder, I just add more water. And a lot of people are like, oh, you can do that? Absolutely. And you don't have to drink it all in one shot. Spread it throughout the morning and afternoon. So there's a lot of things that we can do that I want people to understand that we can customize things for the individual. And that's one part of being a product of the product and knowing how to use products to help others and get a thank you check for it.
You know, with the newcomer that comes in, I always start them on the healthy digestive pack because odds on favor they have multiple things wrong with their body, which means their gut isn't working efficiently. So I always try to get that corrected. But if they want to start doing this as a business, I say, learn what's in the packs and learn how to identify something. So if you have, we have the healthy brain and heart, but that's really all the major organs in your body. We have the healthy bone and joint. We have the healthy blood sugar. If you just learn the packs, and there's about 8 of them. There's variations on whether there's liquids and powders, whatnot, but there's just some families there. If you learn the families and you just learn those products, then you're going to be able to help about 95% of your customers or friends. And if you run into that block where you don't feel it's comfortable there, reach out to your upline, reach out to the nurse that works at Youngevity that can answer your questions. Reach out to me and we'll help you fine tune it to do it. Because the other thing I've learned is sometimes some people work really well and love osteoliquid. Sometimes they like the powder and it works really well. And sometimes there's just a little minor change in the formula that if we do this, it works better for them. And so there's always fine tuning. So the other thing I always tell my beginning people is that you always want to talk to your customer after they've been on the product within 3 weeks. You want to wait a week, you want to get it trying, but within 3 weeks, because if they take the product properly, it's going to run out in 4 weeks. And so you ask, well, how much do you have left? And they go, well, I got about a half a jar left and it's been 3 weeks. Then I kind of go in, are you sure you're taking the right dose? And, I start asking questions like that. The other reason is purely a business reason. If we get that reorder in within 4 weeks, then I get the fast start again. Yes. And so, and at that same time, I ask them, would you like to get the product for a little bit less? And that's really not to join it to do it as a business. That's to get them to go on auto ship, because then they're not paying that shipping charge. I don't push auto ship right out of the way, because how many of us have dealt with a company and the auto ship was just a nightmare and you had to fight tooth and nail to get off of it. You had to do chargebacks on your credit card. It just kind of has a bad taste in people's mouths. So I get them to believe in the product. And then I get them, well, I can save you $12 or 10% just by going on auto ship. And I can teach you how to go into your back office and change whatever you want in your auto ship. And if you need to cancel a date or skip a date, you just call Youngevity and say, I don't want it this month, I want it next month. And you can make that happen. They'll really work with you to make it. And then you save 10%. So that's that first calls. And then I try to develop a relationship with my customers, friendship wise. I always ask them how their family's doing and things like that. I don't just sound like a salesman coming out. I make sure they get their product. So I always call the first week. Then at week 3, I always call again to see how they're doing. And then just see if we need to make any changes in the product. And that's how I get retention, because to me, our company is kind of like a funnel. And it has a big opening at the top and a little opening at the bottom. And you're always going to have a few people fall out of the bottom. And so the trick is that you always put more people in at the top and your business will grow. You'll need a bigger funnel. And so if you kind of keep that in mind and you don't ignore your customer or you don't ignore your friend, if you have a friend and you never talk to them, are they really your friend? No, they're going to go away. Same thing. It's just work with them and call them whenever you feel it. I try to call 10 people a day. I have a rather large group underneath me, but, I try to touch bases. And then we have promotions all the time with Youngevity, where if they don't order in 90 days, you can get a list of all your customers that don't order in 90 days. Well, that's a perfect list to call and say hi to, because they go, oh, I forgot, or this or that. I really need to get back on. And then you turn around and say, well, let's make that happen. And you're creating a relationship with them. And I just find Youngevity's a very simple way to develop a relationship with a customer and to get that thank you check that I appreciate very much.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate it as well. And they have systems in place that make it easy for us to be able to follow up with our customers, know what they ordered. And then through different trainings, you had mentioned the holistic health coaching course that teaches us about the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies, using the Youngevity products as solutions. A great place to get started. So if somebody's listening, they want more information about that, you can go to coachwithdoc.com, get more information about that coaching course.
And that is a great place to start on learning the knowledge in regards to the body and nutrition. Now we have more things that even go into building a business. So if you want to do more than just help yourself and get more into helping your community, because as we are each individually helping our community, we are expanding and helping others around the world. And it just everything flows together. And
We also have regional events that Youngevity puts on, and it's a good way to find people that are of like mind and learn about what's coming out, or what's a product that maybe you're not an expert on. I don't know if you had Adrian Gold on with pollen burst and people like that, but it just expands the knowledge. But I always find with new people, if they can find a partner to team with, may not be in their downline, it'd work better if it is in your downline, but just a partner that you can bounce ideas off of and work together, you'll be more successful as a team than if you're by yourself. Well, how do you find a partner? Well, you go to a regional event. I think the next one's in Scottsdale in 3 weeks that we have one.
I'm gonna be there.
Yep, and I'll be there. And you can go to these events and learn and get some coaching. I know Steve and Michelle will be there. You get a chance to actually meet the CEO and talk to them about what's going on, and you can bounce stuff off of them. Why don't you? And you can always say those things to Steve Wallach. Why don't you? And he'll listen to you. There's a lot of companies where they have one product. Let's throw one underneath the bus. Let's just say noni juice. And that's the only thing, because they can think it works for everybody for everything. Well, it doesn't. And they don't have the open mind to realize those types of things. Does it make it easy to sell? Yes. You have one product, take it. If it doesn't work, take twice as much. Oh, if it doesn't work, take 4 times as much. And, eventually something will happen. But we try to do that. And so if you have an idea, Steve's open to it. Michelle's open to it. I'm open to it. Doc's open to it. If we have something already like it, you may not know about it, and we'll just tell you about it, and you can make it happen. So it's, we have a lot of SKUs now. Mineral makeup is one that, believe it or not, I was involved with in doing shows with mineral makeup. I got to learn how to do mineral makeup. You'll laugh at this. Michelle wanted Steve to do it, and Steve wouldn't do it. I mean, he wasn't going to put makeup on women. No, that's just not Steve. So she goes, well, Richard will do it, and talk me into it. And, we got to do some interesting things, and we got to meet a lot of people, and they couldn't believe that a makeup that didn't have any talc in it, any fillers, any chemicals, could have such coverage and be so easy to use and blend with. So, there's some people out there that, I have a niece or a granddaughter who's now 11 years old, and her mother doesn't use makeup, but her grandmother does. And so she comes up to our house and she instantly locks herself in the bathroom, and she'll be gone for a while. And we know exactly what she's doing. She's going through grandma's mess of products. She refers to herself as a product, but I won't use that word. And so, she's trying a diva. Okay, diva. We can use that. But she's trying all the different products, and she actually got into the enzyme peel and didn't really know what it was working, and had a little bit of a surprise with a little bit of burn. But she's open to educating, and she loves the stuff. Well, her friends like the stuff. So now she comes up and just says, do you have any of this extra stuff? I want to give it to my friend. Well, she's only 11. We really can't get her involved with the business yet. We will when she grows up a little bit more. But think about it. I mean, even them. And the only reason why she does it is she likes it, and she just tells her friends about it. Well, you can do the same thing.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we do is, and when our friends are seeing the benefits that we ourselves are receiving, they're like, what are you doing? It's like, I was in Arizona this past weekend and went out with one of my friends, and I was with my niece at this time, and the waiter, he's like, you're old enough to be her aunt? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually old enough to be your mother. And I showed him a before and after picture, just what's happened in the last 7 years. And he's like, that's incredible. And it's absolutely possible, folks. Our bodies are continually regenerating cells. And if we're not feeding it what it needs to have healthier cells, then you're going to have a lot of aging. But if the body's getting what it needs to have healthier cells, you're going to reduce that and have that anti-aging effect. So I really encourage you folks, get back with the person that shared this program with you. They cared enough about you and want to see you thrive, not just barely survive. And that's one thing that I have absolutely loved about my experience with Youngevity is I was barely surviving. And now I can thrive. Was walking, 5-6 miles a day over the past 10 days, and no aching bones, no sore muscles. I absolutely loved it. And it was not something that I was used to doing every day. So it's absolutely fantastic. Now, we do have a few questions, Richard.
Okay.
And one of the questions, we're going back to shipping and restrictions. Or the question is coming from South Africa and Namibia, and wanting to know how restrictive is it for them to get products?
So Libya, I'm not sure of. South Africa, they need to get an import permit.
Okay.
It's not anything to do with Youngevity. For them to receive the product, they have to get an import permit. And so if they get that import permit, then we can get it to them. There again, I would recommend only getting powders and capsules and soft gels. Don't get the liquids because, Africa can get really hot, and exposing the liquids to extreme heat can be a challenge. And so I would recommend that, but they have to go down and get an import permit to bring the product in. A lot of time businesses have it. If you have someone that owns a business, you can go in and say, do you already have an import permit and can I have the product sent there? And maybe the answer is yes, depending on their relationship. Libya, I'd have to look into.
And it's Namibia.
Oh, sorry.
A little farther south. No
A little
worries.
farther south.
Yes. Okay. So import permit. So we did have somebody that asked that question. We need to make sure that we look into getting that. And we have a hand up. And Ruth Ellen, what question do you have for Richard today?
Hello. Thanks for being here, Richard. Always love it when you're on. Okay, so I have 2 questions. One is from YouTube, and M. Mac would like to know, do the liquid plant-derived minerals need to be refrigerated if you're going to use it in a spray bottle and spray it on topically?
No, I wouldn't leave it in direct sunlight, but it's really just plant-derived minerals and water. And so there isn't really a chemical reaction with that particular product. And I know over in Japan where really the initial put it in a spray bottle and spray it on your skin really took off, and the benefits in there. It can be quite hot over in Japan, and they didn't have any problems. And then there again, you keep your eye on the date, which will be on the bottom of the bottle at Best Buy. And as long as you fall within that guidelines, you should be fine with that.
Okay, thank you. And then Lorna from here on Zoom, she would like to know, can Arthrodex and Perpetual be shipped directly to Canada?
I think so. We will put that down as the questions, and then I will touch bases with someone and get an answer. I don't ship to Canada because Youngevity gets such a better shipping deal with it that I always send my orders through them, and I can make a telephone call and email it to you.
Okay.
And then you could let your customers know tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
And I do know that the Arthrodex cannot be shipped directly to Canada because of some of the enzymes that are in it, which is really sad because our pets need it. Absolutely need it.
I know I have a lot of customers that ship to the border, and they literally go across the border, pick it up. Well, now we can't say names because what they're doing isn't really legal, but that's the way they get around it.
Yeah, I have a few that do the same. Now, let's go back to the plant-derived minerals and not needing refrigeration. Does that hold true also to those with flavors, like the cherry mints, the strawberry kiwi mints, and not needing refrigeration?
I would prefer you keep those in the refrigerator. And I would recommend that you not spray it on your skin, because you'll have mosquitoes and flies that want to get their little flavors on the cherries or the strawberry kiwi. But orally, I would recommend that, either that, or if you have a cool pantry that never gets hot, put it in there. We just want to keep it out of the direct sunlight.
And bees really like the sweetness too. So, let's not put them on our skin. Let's keep them inside of us. Just, that's a great question though. And let's go to the next question. AJ, what do you have for Richard today?
Hey, Richard, what about the IFOS and the NSF certifications? Are those need to be updated annually, or is it kind of, how does that thing work, please?
So NSF is a annual inspection that is done. We do NSF for people like you that are more into the sports scenario. They test the products to make sure that there isn't any violation with professional sports or international sports or collegiate sports. And that's also why sometimes the instructions will vary from what maybe Doc recommends, because he always likes to recommend by weight. But the NSF people want a definitive, take 2 scoops and that's it. And so to maintain those types of certifications, yes. IFSO, for those that want to know, is a lab that tests essential fatty acids, fish oils, for radiation because of Japan, and heavy metals. And it's a way that we can certify to our customers that we do those testings and that they don't have to be concerned. Most of our EFAs all come from Norway and Iceland waters now. And so if you think about it, for the current that has the radiation in it, to get there is really difficult. It's even hard to explain to them that if it's in the southern hemisphere, you don't have to worry about it, because the way the currents work in the Atlantic and Indian and Pacific Oceans, the equator is kind of a cut line, and they work in opposite circles depending on where you are. And waters that are in the northern Pacific usually don't mix that much with the southern Pacific, and so we don't have the radiation. We also use fish that have shorter lives, like mackerel and sardines, versus tuna, so that they have less exposure to heavy metals. And so we take all those preliminary sets, and then we have those tests done on it and get the certifications to do that. And then we put those logos on the bottles, on various bottles that we have.
Fantastic. And then just real quick, what do you think about Youngevity's commitment to purity versus what the competition might do, like you might find in the store shelves? What might you think is the difference?
Well, there's companies out there that are very, very good. And so, and there's companies out there that are shady. And I'll just phrase it that way. If you think about car sales, there's certain dealerships you want to deal with, and there's certain dealerships you just don't. And so I'm the type of person that will tell you how great ours, but I really don't want to throw anyone underneath the bus. But if you see certifications on bottles that are NSF like ours, or IFOS like on our products, that's probably an above average lab, and they probably have above average skills. But I believe in our products. I take our products, I stand behind our products, and I know what testing we do with our products. And unless another brand can guarantee those types of things, I'd rather spend a few cents more and get ours.
Me too. Thank you.
Well, and one thing they don't have Dr. Wallach and all of his research and experience and knowledge and implementation into lives and seeing the results. I mean, they can use his research, but they don't have him.
You know, I remember way back when hundreds of companies, well, not hundreds of companies, lots of companies were selling his tape, except they were modifying it and taking out the last few minutes that talks about Youngevity or American longevity back in those days. And they would cut that part of the tape out, and then they would use it for their company because it was such a successful tape. Now, he kind of didn't like the piracy and went after them, but I know there's a lot of companies that built their base of thousands and thousands and thousands of customers on the back of Dr. Wallach without the product that Dr. Wallach was really recommending. And that was an interesting time.
Well, and there was one individual that I know specifically of that was with a company, and they went with that company because they heard Dr. Wallach's message and bought the plant-derived minerals from the person that they heard the message from, and then realized that that was not the actual mineral product that Dr. Wallach was promoting. And when they got what Dr. Wallach was promoting, they're like, it was night and day difference on how they felt and what it was doing for them within their bodies. So, you know, that you have the thing called name brand and generic. Well, folks, Youngevity is the name brand. Generic does not even stand up to any of the tests. AJ, did you have another question?
No, but just to comment, to piggyback what Richard was saying, there are plenty of companies right now that are using Dr. Wallach's video and Peter Glidden's video, and then they're promoting their own product. Like they take the excerpt, and then it's all over the internet. I mean, this is all you see, and I'm like, how did they get away with that?
Well, you know, Amazon and the internet, they're big beasts, and they protect their people that are on it, which, you know, I understand. Sometimes I don't agree with, but a lot of the times they're able to give information that doesn't really relate to their product and advertise it as if it is. And you wish you could stop it, but then if you call up YouTube and request them to do something like that, you're kind of beating your head against the wall. So I think it's more up to us to say to people, it says, oh, I've heard of Dr. Wallach, I take his products. And you go, oh, Youngevity. And they go, no. And they go, well, if you actually want the products that he designed, this is the product you need. And, you know, it's probably the easiest way to switch people to a different product is if that happens, because they go, I didn't know. And I go, well, go on the internet or go on YouTube and look at it. If you want to see what our mine looks like, go on YouTube and put Youngevity Mineral Mine Tour in there, and you actually can see what's going on. And, you know, and we have benefits like that. Be on the show with Rebecca and listen to what's going on, and you get to talk to him, and he'll say which products he recommends. You know, there's lots of avenues to show people the right direction. It's just, you know, sometimes shutting down Amazon or shutting down YouTube is a difficult thing to do.
Yep, absolutely. And folks, we have Dr. Wallach on with us Wednesdays and Thursdays here on Daily with Doc. We have to share them with other people. So we have gone down to 2 days instead of 5 days a week. And, you know, I can't believe our hour is already over with you, Richard. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on with us. I look forward to having you on more often, because you are just a wealth of knowledge. You've built this business yourself as an individual, using the products, reaching around the world. We have so much to learn from you as well. And I love the fact that you are willing to come on and share with us. If I can get the co-host to come on the screen, I would greatly appreciate it, because I couldn't do this without them. I mean, there's so many moving parts to it.
I love the fact that each and every one of us have our own skills that we are contributing to a greater cause beyond ourselves. And there is many teams. There are many teams that do the same. And that's why, as the saying goes, and I know I'm going to get it wrong, as the ship rises, what is it? The water rises, all ships rise. I don't remember. But anyways, we're working together as individuals, like-minded individuals, to help a society as a whole, the world as a whole. And there's so much going around. It's not a competition. But this is a resource for an amazing community. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. They are your first point of contact. They are the person that cared enough about you to share this program with you. Now, if you did not have this referred to you, you found it on your own, and you would like to get in touch with somebody, you've never tried any of the products or the business, feel free to give our team a call at 855-949-3377. This is the Daily with Doc team. We are not presidents, owners of Youngevity Corporate. We are independent distributors where we believe in the Youngevity products that we can stand behind and have confidence that they are going to deliver what it is that is said to deliver. Now, we do not make any claims, whether it is product claims. Products are not meant to treat, diagnose, cure any diseases. But folks, when you look at the individual ingredients, you can even go on PubMed.gov, look up those nutritional ingredients and see what they say they can do. And then you get them synergistically formulated into products. Watch out, because if you take it as directed, there's only one way your health is going to go, and that is with improvement. So today we have with us Ruth Ellen Sanchez, my executive production manager, who helps me with the scheduling of getting our guests in, also with the stream. She's like the main hub of the stream to get that broadcasted. So thank you, Ruth Ellen. We have Sherry, who helps set up that stream and getting that and watching the different platforms and monitoring. Thank you, Sherry. We have Albert way down in South Africa, who's helping to let people into the live Zoom so that they can be part of our live studio audience. We have Rod, who's doing the same, letting people in and also keeping an eye out on the different platforms, looking for comments and questions. We have Marilyn, who is putting information into the chat here in the live Zoom, which is the only place that you will see that chat, as she does amazing dictation. Any recommendations that are being made or statements, she types that and have it in black and white for you to be able to do a screenshot, take a picture of, especially whenever we have one of our doctors on and people are asking questions. What should I take for this? Or what should my client take for this? She is putting that information into the chat, or you can take a snapshot of it, get back with the person that invited you to this program, say, hey, Dr. Wallach or their pharmacist Ben or Cara Ringland, naturopath, Dr. Dennison, Dr. Mitchell, any of them said, this is what is going to be a great start for me. You can take that picture to them. They can help you get it ordered. Or if you're already involved, I'm hoping that you know how to get it on your own. If not, make sure that you do reach out to your upline, as they should be overjoyed to be able to help you find that from barely surviving to thriving. Richard, again, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you, all you have done over 30 years. Just absolutely fantastic. Folks, my name is Becca Dukes. I'm also the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health. Again, we invite you. Oh my goodness, how come you weren't up on the screen? AJ. Now I'm embarrassed. Okay, so the person that helps us with our marketing
and getting on all these different platforms is AJ. Thank you so much, AJ. I don't know how I missed you. Yeah. But folks, if you're listening on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, X, I almost said the other word, Instagram, no matter where you're listening to us, if there's a way that you can let us know that you're there, please do. We want to know where we are reaching. So let us know the country that you're in and just say hi. That way we know that we are doing our job at making sure that the world is hearing this message, because we truly do want to help Dr. Wallach in this crusade to save humanity and the world. Now, to get Dr. Wallach's books, you can go to www.drjwallach.com, and that is his website for all of his publications that are in print. Again, that's www.drjwallach.com. So until next time, get back to the person that shared this program with you. If there's no one to thank, call 855-949-3377. If you prefer email and you have questions about the business, email us info, I-N-F-O, @dailywithdoc.com. Till next time. Oh, okay. And questions. If you have health questions, you want to know what would be Dr. Wallach's recommendation, because we are taught by the Institute, which teaches Dr. Wallach's philosophies, you can email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com, and make sure you let us know that you are working with somebody and their names, so that we can make sure that we can say thank you to them and make sure that they get the credit where credit is due for sharing the message. Bye for now.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. Dr. Joel